Hello, welcome to the Church360 Unite webinar covering feeds, posts, and comments. Hi, my name is Rod Kiles and I am the Customer Onboarding Specialist for Concordia Technology Solutions. I've been with the company about 15 years and I really appreciate my time here. You can reach me one of two ways. You can reach me by email at rod.kiles@cph.org, and you can also reach me by phone at 314-268-1315. I kindly ask that you mute your phones or microphones and type any questions you may have into the question window. They will be answered at the end of class, and I do answer those questions in order. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to go ahead and enter those in, and when we get to the end of the material, I'll answer those questions. So this webinar is broken into three sections. We'll go through our outline, which is a very brief outline. Then we'll switch over to the program and we'll go through each one of the features, describing them and explaining how to use them. Then we'll have our question and answer session at the tail end. So for this webinar, we're going to start out by describing what feeds are and the benefits of using feeds. Then once we have described them, we'll show entering those into the system and setting them up. Then we'll show how to add posts to those feeds. Once the posts have been entered into the system, you can, if you would like, you can have the members of your congregation add comments to those posts. And after we've gone through the feeds, posts, and comments, we'll have our question and answer session. So pretty straightforward outline. If you're ready and I'm ready, then let's get started. So I'm going to switch my screen and we're going to go over to our test or sample Church360 Unite site. And up at the top, we do have a custom domain. So our site is actually demo.church360unite.com, but we've purchased christbakersville.org and we just have that forward over to church360unite.com. So I'm going to click sign in here at the upper right hand corner, and for email address or username, I'm just going to type in our sysadmin and then type in password. You can configure it where you don't have to use an email address. You can just use a username, and you can also use your login for Facebook and your login or your login for Google. And if you forget your password, you can just use the forgot your password link, which will take you to another screen, allow you to type in your email address and send yourself a password reset email. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And once I sign into the system, if I'm an administrator or if I'm a publisher, then I'll see the admin toolbar here across the top. So I would say there's two different types of toolbars inside of Church360 Unite. There's going to be your admin toolbar here at the top, and then there's going to be your main menu type toolbar here down at the bottom. And in your admin toolbar is going to go pages, posts, activity, users, and settings. So a good portion of our work will be done in pages here. And when you click on pages, you're going to see that this window is broken into two separate sections. There's going to be your active menu items and your available menu items. And the active menu items are going to be the items that make up your main menu. So as you look down the left-hand side, you'll see these different icons. And there's 4 different types of pages that you can have within the system, and each one of the different little icons represent a different type of page. So there's static pages, which are just going to be the regular pages that you create on your site, like your home page or your welcome page. And those are represented by a little piece of paper here. There's your members page, which is represented by the 2 little people here. And that's going to be either the members that you enter into the system. It could be people that you import in from, or people that are inside your Church360 members database, or it could be the people that you sync with Shepherd staff that will show up here under your members page. Then there's also your calendars page, which is the place where all your events feed into. So those could be events that you've entered here in Unite. They could be events from members, or they could be Google events as well, so you can sync in a Google Calendar. And the fourth type of page is going to be our feed page, and it's this icon right here that kind of looks like it has a little tabbed piece of paper inserted into the page. And when it comes to your feed pages, lots of times I like to think of those as like blog pages or forum pages, because they're going to be a page, but you're actually going to be posting content onto those pages. So some of the typical types of feed pages is they can be pages that are for sermons. They can be pages where you provide commentary on Bible studies. So you could be posting an ongoing conversation about Bible studies on your feed page. You can use your feed pages to discuss current views on current events. And you could also use your feed pages to share content about articles or videos. So the great benefit of your feed pages is these allow you to further your ministry by having these pages that are being updated on a periodic basis. The posts are going to be date and time stamped, so the information will be relevant. It'll be current, and you can add in posts and you can delete these posts. One of the big benefits as well is this allows you to connect with the members of your church, other pastors, and people who may not even know about your church. They can come by and see these posts that are on your feed pages. So when you're deciding to create your feed, you'll have to decide, well, what is this feed going to be used for? What is this blog going to be used for? So it could be that you just simply want to post your upcoming Sunday sermon, or after you have the Sunday sermon, you want to post the sermon on there for people to go back and look at. You could be expanding a Bible study discussion. These could be personal testimonies about visiting your church. It could be answers to typical church members' questions. You could use this feed page for publishing your newsletter, or you can even use them for promoting of church ministries or upcoming church events. So feed pages, very, very powerful here. So to add a feed page into your system, into Church360 Unite, what you're going to do is up here at the upper right-hand corner, you'll use the Add Page button. So to add a feed, you'll click Add Page. Then that's going to open up this modal right here. And when you open up the modal, you'll have three types of pages at the top, and then you'll have some dummy pages down here, some pre-populated some pages that are pre-populated with text from the programmer. So your first page will be static. The one with the RSS icon, and that's going to be your feed page, and then the one to the right of that is going to be a group page. So we're going to click on feed page, and then we're going to click create, and then that's going to create the page. And the page that we want to create is going to be Pastor's Blog. So you'll notice here up at the top where it has new page highlighted, you'll just type Pastor's Blog, and then you'll press enter, and it will create that page. Let me create a second page to go along with this one, so we'll have two. So I'm going to click Add Page, click Feed Page, and click Create. And this one's going to be Sermons, and then press enter. So I'm going to have two feed pages there. One additional thing I'd like to create is going to be a category. To create a category, I'll click Add Category here at the top. And over here on the left-hand side under Active Menu Items, a little folder will appear, and you can kind of tell it's supposed to look like an accordion folder system there. Then I'm going to type in, and I'm going to name this Pastor's Page, and press enter. And the category is an area where you can put pages into that category, and doing so will create a drop-down list on your main menu. So once I have Pastor's Page here on the left-hand side, I can drag and drop these items underneath pastor's page. And if you're at the very bottom, I usually drag it down a little bit below the section, but right above actions for selected pages, then I drop it there. So it can be a little tricky dragging and dropping onto that very last item. But if I go down below the line a little bit, it'll give me a little leeway to drag and drop that item in there. So once I have that item in place, then I'm going to click Save Changes here on the right-hand side to save my changes. And I'm going to refresh my screen. Excuse me. Once I've refreshed my screen, you'll notice here in our main menu that we now have Pastor's Page. And underneath Pastor's Page, we'll see Sermons and Pastor's Blog. So basically, we've created that navigation, that structure, by adding those items into the system. So I'm going to go back to Pages and mention the available menu items here on the right-hand side. Now, these are pages that are in the system, but they're not in the main menu. And you can still access these pages by clicking on the hyperlink down here at the bottom, and you can navigate to those pages. So any page that has a little hyperlink or slug underneath it, you can go to that page. You'll also notice that there's these action buttons down here at the bottom. So it says actions for selected pages. Every single page will either be published or it'll be in draft status. So if I click on sermons and I click make draft, that will take this page from being published back to being draft. And when the page is in draft status, only your administrators and your publishers will be able to see that page. Users will not be able to actually see that page. So I'm going to make both of these draft. If you have a page that is published, and I'm going to click on Bible Studies here. If you have a page that is published, then you can either make that page public or private. So if I'm on Bible Studies and I click private, you'll add this tag that says members only here, and that means that you have to actually log into the site to see that page. So only people who have rights to log in will be able to see the members only pages. And then if I want it to be public, I can click public. That means that anybody who comes across the site will actually be able to see that page. And a couple other things about this view, you can drag and drop items left to right and reposition them. And if the item is indented, that means it's going to be underneath the category. And if it's not indented, it's actually going to be on the main level. So the only other action button on this view is the delete button. And if you click on an item and click delete, that will allow you to delete that item. So let's go ahead and from here, I'm just going to click Save Changes because I did make a couple changes there. And then your changes have been saved. And I'm going to go to the Sermons page here and continue there. And then that will actually take me to my Sermons page. You'll notice at the upper right-hand corner that my page is in draft status, but there's also the RSS feed icon. And that's to let you know that this is a feed page. That's to let everyone know that this is a feed page, and you can link to this page. So if you have iTunes, you could read in these sermons. If you had a feed reader, you could read in the sermons or any of the feed items. So it wouldn't have to be sermons. It could be pastor's blog or information about Bible studies. You know, whatever's on this feed page, you'd be able to read. On the left-hand side, there's going to be Edit Page. And anytime that you see the Edit Page link here on the left, that means that you'll be able to edit the content that's going to be on this page. And with feed pages, it kind of has like a unique response. So when you click on that, it's actually going to start the process of creating a new post. So here on the left-hand side in the, on the tray or in the tray, it's going to say URL. And our URL is Sermons. You'll notice up here at the top it says Sermons. And our feed title is Sermons as well. There is a spot for meta description. And meta description is going to be additional details about this page that you provide to the search engines. So if you were typing in meta description, it could be Pastor Smith LCMS sermon for Sunday so-and-so date. And that information would not actually show in the feed or in the post, but that information would be provided to the search engine. So if people were looking for information about LCMS sermons, then when they Googled searched it or Yahoo searched it or used any search engine, it would help find this information. So meta description is quite powerful. Below that, it's going to say how this feed looks. You can specify the number of posts that you want to see on the page. Below that, there's show post contents, and we'll show how that works here in just a second. But with show post contents, you can either show the contents of the post. So if there's a sermon and it was 10 paragraphs long, it would show all 10 paragraphs. But if you had this unchecked, then instead of it showing the contents, it would just show a hyperlink, which would then drill you into that sermon where you would see that 10 paragraphs worth of information. Below that is rules for this feed post, and you can specify whether to allow comments or or moderate comments. So I do have some sample text for this post, so I'm going to call this Sunday Sermon. And Sunday was the 6th, so I'm just going to add the date here, 06/2016. Then I'm going to go to my desktop just a second. Okay, let me switch back here. Okay. And I'm just going to copy this sample text. Okay, and my screen should be refreshing right now. Okay, so then I'm just going to copy this sample text and paste this information into this view. So I can right-click and paste, and at that point I'll get my paste from text option here where I could paste it in there, then click OK, and that's going to fill in the text from Pastor's Sermon. Then at that point, I could use any of the options inside of the WYSIWYG editor to make changes. So at this point, once I have the post entered into the system, I'll click Save. And I'm going to close my edit page and refresh my screen. Let me go back and try that one more time. Sorry about that. My Create button was covered by my GoToMeeting panel there. So we'll say Sunday Sermon 03/06/2016. Click Create. That will create my post, and then I'll save changes and close my edit page. And if I don't have the expanded content showing, I'll just see the link. But you will see the comments button down here at the bottom. So if somebody wanted to comment on that post, they definitely could. And it looks like the number of paste showing option, I'll submit that as a software issue there. So, but I can say show comments, show content, and I can also say moderate comments as well. So I'm going to click Save. And then I'm going to close my edit page here. And if I wanted, if somebody wanted to, if I wanted to, I could drill into the sermon so I could see the contents. Then also I could go to the bottom and I could add in a new comment. So thanks for sharing. Then at that point I can click Post. You'll notice once I click Post that the comment shows up. So if, let's go back here, and I'm going to go back one level and make sure that my moderate comments is saved. So I'm going to close the edit page, go to Pastor's page and go to Sermons, then edit page and check moderate comments and show post comments, and click Save here. then close edit page, and I'm going to refresh my screen, so I'm going to press F5. Then go down to the bottom, and if I click comments, and I'm going to say thanks for sharing again. And when I save this post, then instead of it showing up, then it should just say that the comment has been submitted. So then what I can do is I can go up to activity here at the top, and I'll see the comments that have been posted. So at this point, I can decide whether or not I want that comment to go live to where everybody can read it, or if I want to delete that comment. So if it's appropriate, then I can go ahead and approve that comment, and if it's not appropriate, I can delete that comment. So I'm going to click on the one from Pastor Kent Williams here and click approve. Then you may have noticed the kind of like the new design now, and to close a page, instead of having a save and close button down here at the lower right, you can use the little X here to the right of the tab name to close the tab. So I'm just going to refresh the page right now, and then down at the bottom we'll be able to see both of my comments. So let's go back to Pastor's page, and let's go to Sermons. And now that I have show the content, you'll actually see the sermon on the page. So I'm going to go back to edit page, and that's automatically going to allow me to enter in a new post outside of just text for entering in sermons. You can also add the sermon audio for a sermon if you'd like. So let's say I could type in like a small description. Then I could click on the microphone inside of the menu bar here. And then what I would do is I would go to upload and go to the area where my audio file is going to be. So I have an audio file here. I'm just going to click on the name of the audio file and then click open. And then you'll see the file begin to upload, and it shouldn't take too long. Once the file uploads, it'll turn green. The name of the file and the location of the file will appear. Then I can click OK to finish the process of creating that link within this inside the post, so that people can hear the audio from the sermon. So I'm going to click OK here, and you'll notice a little microphone there. Then I'm going to I'm just going to name this post Sermon Audio. Then I can click create, and then it's going to create that post. And then when I want to listen to it, I can just click play, and then I'll be able to hear the sermon from the last week's sermon. So I can hear the audio from last week's sermon. You can also upload a video if you'd like. So since I went ahead and created that one, it'll allow me to create a new post, and I'm going to call this sermon video. And if I click on the camera file here, the video camera link, then I can go to upload, and I'm going to use this video for a youth group outing here. Then click on open, and that's going to upload the video file. Then once the file is uploaded, it'll turn green. I'll click OK, and when I click create, it'll actually insert that video. The third option would be if I wanted to embed video from YouTube. So let me go ahead and switch over to YouTube so that I can show the how to do that. So I'm going to click on a link here, and everybody should be able to see my YouTube video page here. So this is just the sermon that I found on YouTube. You'll notice down at the bottom that there's add to, share, and more. If you click on share, it'll expand this section here where you can go to embed, where you can right click and copy the embed code. Then you can go back to your Church360 Unite site, And if you want to embed this YouTube video, you can click on the embed icon, which is like a greater than / less than sign. And then you can just paste the code from that video in there. And I would make note of the width and height of the video. You can change that to make the video larger. So I'll click OK, and it will insert that video into the page. Once I have that video in there, I could add additional text, and I can click Create, and it'll put that video in there as well. So you can definitely go in and update the information. So okay, let me go ahead and take a look at my notes here real quick. And let me show one other section in relationship to all these videos that I've created here. So I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to close Edit Page here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to go up to the Post area. And I've gone through and I've created these different posts, but I've yet to make these posts live. So they're still in draft status. So at this point, whenever it came time to launch these post, I would click on the little checks here on the left-hand side, and then I would use the action buttons down at the bottom. So I'll have the same type of controls like publish or make draft. So if it's currently in the draft status, if it's ready to go to be published, I can click publish, and then anybody who logs into the site will be able to see it. Unless the page is public, then anybody who visits the site will actually be able to see it. So the ability to see this post is based on the page. And I could go through and make the rest of them published as well. If I have a video that's not on the right feed, so I have the I believe, I think, I do, and it's in news and announcements, I can check that item, click change feed, and I could put that on Pastor's blog if I'd like. So I can move it from wherever it's at and move it to the location that I would like for it to be. And then I could go to Pastor's blog and I'd be able to see that blog. Okay, well, that is the end of the material that I had for this webinar. And I did see a question come up in the question box there. So I want to ask, do you have any questions? You can definitely post those right now. And there is one question that's coming through from Kim. Hello, Kim. It says, can you add another sub-website? Can you add another sub-website like Reformation Celebration 2017? And if so, how much? There's a couple of ways that you can do that. You could purchase a whole nother Church360 member site, but what you may want to do, and let me switch back to Church360 Unite here, is something to consider, before buying a whole new site. You may want to go to Pages and create a group. So if you go to Add Page, you could go to Add a Group, Create Group, and this could be (2017). And then press enter. Then that group would actually have its own, that group would have its own group. That group would have its own section out on the web. So you could send people this hyperlink. It would have its own calendar, its own discussion sections. You can have members who are part of the group. You could open up the group so that anybody could join the group. So there's definitely some benefits. I like to think of a group as a website within your website because it has a home page. It has the ability to have additional pages, so you can add 3 additional pages. So just something to think about. You could definitely give our sales team a call if you wanted to go a different route, like purchasing another website, but this may be something to consider as well. So, but hopefully that answers your question there. If not, you could post a follow-up and I'll answer that. So, okay. Um, I do want to thank everybody for attending before everybody starts dropping off. I do hope that everybody enjoyed the class, and if you have any questions after the question and answer session, then you could definitely give us a call at 1-800-346-6120, and you could shoot us an email at support@cts.cph.org. Um, Kim sent the follow-up question. I'm not sure if that's how CPH did their Reformation page. Well, CPH, of course, they have programmers and website designers, and I don't think they use Church360 Unite for theirs, but we could definitely discuss it more and see what our options are for providing something very similar to their page.